Good day, this is Andrew Heineck. Allow me to introduce my audience members for my speech on nuclear energy.
Hello, I'm Donna Heineck.
Hello, I'm Aaron Heineck.
Hi, I'm Jonah Heineck.
Hello, I'm Candace Pepin.
Hello, I'm Aurora Ward.
Hello, I'm Kathleen Ward.
What's up, my Sigmas? I'm Bryce Wood.
Okay.
Bryce, this isn't a YouTube channel.
Jenna, would you mind holding this? We'll be going on to YouTube. It's going to be a private video.
There you go.
What do you first think of when I say nuclear or atomic? Regardless of lived experiences, it likely is something either hazardous or destructive, such as, for instance, a bomb, radiation, or such media that includes that said ilk, such as the Incredible Hulk, Godzilla, or Fallout. This is very unfortunate because this hazardous and destructive reputation is often tied with nuclear energy. A very unfortunate fact, as I believe that nuclear energy should instead be seen in a positive light, as a clean and efficient energy source that is much safer than many people expect. Because, nuclear reactors are often misunderstood, expected to be a lot more complicated than they truly are. Truly, the most complicated part, according to the Office of Nuclear Energy, starts with the nuclear core, which uses primarily uranium fuel rods that, upon being activated, undergo nuclear fission or the splitting of atoms, releasing a whole bunch of heat energy, much more energy per capita than any other energy source you can come across, such as coal, natural gas, or even the burning of garbage. Now, this heat energy is then transferred through a heat transfer system into a large tub of water that is then boiled and evaporated, which then turns a turbine, and through a similar manner as to your typical generator you might use during a hurricane or during a fierce storm, produces electricity. Now, as you can see, this is rather similar to a variety of other forms of energy, such as geothermal or the aforementioned burning of garbage. Now, some may think, sure, it's efficient and all, it produces a lot of heat energy, but I mean, what about Chernobyl? That didn't turn out very well for them. Just one supposedly safe test, and it caused the land to be uninhabitable for about a couple centuries, and I would have to say, no, it's actually incorrect. It's about a century, but I see your point. In truth, many people wind up looking at the tragedy, but not seeing how the tragedy could have been avoided. For instance, records taken from Chernobyl show that the reactor was rather inefficiently built. It allowed for a rather unfortunate event to occur where some water leaked from that large tub, as aforementioned, and managed to mix in with the fuel rods, which, upon being activated, resulted in the vast amount of heat to not be able to go through the heat transfer system, which would have removed an appropriate amount of the heat and allowed for the vapor to travel at a rate that the turbine could handle. Unfortunately, due to this this overreach by misinformed individuals resulted in an explosion at the Chernobyl reactor, resulting in the land to be blighted for about a century. Now today, in the modern day, we have a variety of safety measures to keep events like Chernobyl from occurring. We have multiple ventilation systems and anyway, it's just a whole bunch of safety systems as according to the World Nuclear Association and the U.S. Department of Energy. So, all I would like to say in short is that nuclear energy should be seen in a more positive light and should be seen as an efficient and safe manner of energy production. And while nuclear power is incredibly dangerous due to it producing much more power than some may argue humanity should handle, humanity has found a way to use it in the most efficient yet safe manner possible because it can be so dangerous. So in short, nuclear power, when given the same respect and as to the dangers that is given to other energy sources, it doesn't seem so scary, does it? Now, that's all I have to say on that subject. Any questions?
Excuse me?
Oh, yes?
Yes, is there any areas in the world that are using the safe nuclear as energy for their electricity and such?
It's funny you ask that because right here in Florida, right around the Florida Keys, there is actually a nuclear power plant that winds up using the natural humid environment that Florida has to dissipate the exhausted heat energy. That's an excellent question.
I think Bryce has a question.
Also a variety of places that tend to be further away from civilization, such as, if I remember correctly, I believe there's a nuclear reactor in the Nevada desert. But do not quote me on that. Sorry, any other question? Yes.
Could this be used for batteries?
Could it be used for batteries? I personally would not suggest using them as a form of battery, but perhaps in the future someone significantly smarter than me could figure out how to safely store said energy and use it as a proper battery. Oh, yes?
Is nuclear energy being used on submarines?
On submarines. Indeed. Indeed. The military actually uses nuclear power in their submarines and on some of their warships.
Oh, didn't know.
Okay. Any other questions? Well, thank you. That's all I have to say on that. Thank you.
Woo!